Guys, welcome back in Inside the Pod with Lou here. Like we start every podcast with a Bible verse, and today's Bible verse led us to John 3:16, and the Word of God states, "For this is how God loved the world; He gave His one and only Son, so that everyone who believes in Him will not perish but have eternal life." John 3:16. And with that being said, I'm with.
Marso,
All right, bro. Well, welcome in. Thank you for coming by.
thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, so we kind of met up because I threw out an ad and I said,
Yes,
"Hey,
sir.
dude, would you like to come on a podcast?" You reached out to me on Instagram,
Uh-huh.
and then from there we met up in the tower
Yep.
at Teasers,
Teasers, yep.
and then thank you for the tea, by the way, man. That
Oh,
was
yeah, for sure.
that was really good.
Got to put people on tea, man. It's good
Yeah,
for you.
teas, and right now I'm on my healthy kick. I know a little bit. We kind of the wife made us some coffee. It's a little sweet, but other than that, I've been trying to be healthier, right?
Yeah.
But kind of break it down, bro. Like obviously you're a talented person. He was nice.
Thank you.
He's a chef, by the way, guys, and he brought his famous macaroni and cheese.
Smoked Gouda mac and cheese.
Right. We had shrimp.
Yes.
We had and some hot links.
Yes, sir.
And I also had some buddies here. Right. So shout out Mario and Tito.
Yeah, shout out,
And
man. Thank
they
you guys
were
for the repost. I appreciate it.
yeah they were able to enjoy. Right.
They
And
did.
hey, bro, really great. I'm gonna tell
Thank
you guys right now, did not disappoint. The mac and cheese was on point. Shrimp was good, and I love hot links, bro. So I mean, hey,
It was, man.
I
Yeah.
feel like if the food's gonna be anywhere, if this podcast is gonna be anywhere near the food, then it's gonna be fire, guys. So just
And then I will say, though, Luke kind of threw me for a little loop, man. So I was expecting to bring some mac and cheese for him to try. And he was like, hey, can you bring like a little bit more? And I was like, all right. So the other things were kind of on the fly. So, I mean, I'm a chef, so I'm going to make it happen, you know what I mean, regardless. But I didn't have that much time to put into much love into those other dishes, man. So the mac and cheese is, I mean, the mac and cheese is going to do what it's going to do every
yeah,
time. So, but, overall, I know it was good, but you know what I mean?
nah, it was great, bro. Like I said, thank you. I mean, I really do appreciate that you came all the way from Fresno out to Fireball.
That's one of the things too. I was like, man, I hope this still gonna be warm
Oh
by
no,
the
it was
time
warm.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it was warm, bro.
Yeah.
So okay, now let's jump in it, right?
Yeah.
So kind of break it down to us, like kind of tell us about yourself, right? Kind of like let us know, like, did you always know you wanted to be a chef? Like, I kind of joke saying ratatouille. Did you
Yeah.
kind of grow up in it? Like, how did that happen? Or just kind of break everything down of who Marso is.
So the way I grew up, man, so my grandpa was actually working in a kitchen when I was younger. So every time I would go over there, I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house, and my grandpa had a fresh garden. He has a real green thumb, still does. So every time I was going over there, he was chopping vegetables, man. He was doing something, you know what I mean? Making something. He knew spices, you know what I mean? So I always grew up with that, watching him. And my grandma too, like, the way she would do certain things. And I had a conversation with you before about this, about not too long ago. She made something for a little get together that we had, and I haven't had her cooking in a while. And it did bring me back to that ratatouille thing that we talked about, where I felt like I was 8 years old again. You know what I mean? She had to make some fried chicken, and I hadn't had her fried chicken in a while. And
Yeah.
so, I took a bite and did that ratatouille thing to me, man. It took me back, and I was like, whoa. You know what I mean? So that's what I aspire, when I'm cooking and stuff like that, is to make dishes that bring people back to those, nostalgic points. You know what I mean? Where it's like, wow. You know what I mean? So growing up doing that, my mom started cooking. She didn't really start cooking too much when I was younger. She baked a lot. She had me at a young age, so it's a little tougher for young mothers to be cooking like crazy stuff. But she's developed and makes a lot of great things now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
as I got older, and my dad's always been um, one of those people that can literally like do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
No. Yeah.
like
Most dads should be superheroes, right?
yeah, no, for sure. And so he's always been able to do, the dude can cook, this dude can work on your car, he could work on your house, he could beat you up. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, he's just,
All around guy.
yeah, he's all around, you know what I mean? So, like I said, I've been around cooking a lot, like my whole life. My grandmas, both of them, my grandpa, my dad, my mom. Just watching a lot. So that's kind of like how I learned things. Not really. I didn't really grow up in the food industry like a lot of chefs do.
Yeah.
I did work at a catering place. It's called Lorion back in the day. Um, when I was like 16, I worked in there, but I didn't really grow up in like the food industry like everybody else, where I was like waiting tables or being like line cooks and stuff like that. Like everything that I did was self taught.
Nice.
Like so, if I wanted to, if I wanted to make something, I'd watch it, break it down, and then just go at it. You know what I mean, and work on it. So that's what I did. So growing up, I was cooking, cooking for my cousins and stuff because most of our parents were at work. So like we'd be hungry. So like one of the first things that I got good at was making fried rice.
Oh.
So I would whip up, and fried rice was cheap back in the day.
Mm.
Bacon and eggs weren't that expensive back in like the '90s. So
I can relate.
yeah, I know you can, man. So it was a little cheaper, to make a whole batch of fried rice, and there was vegetables in it and stuff. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like bad food for you either. So I'd make a whole batch, and it was like six of us. You know what I mean? So they'd all be all, oh man, Marso, he's cooking some fried rice. So I mean, here I am now, and it's still like one of my best dishes that people like. You know what I mean? They're like, oh man, that fried rice, hits. And then I learned how to make, hot and spicy and all that. So I just growing up, man, it's like always fun. Anywhere I work at, I always end up cooking.
Yeah.
Like, I always end up cooking, man. I bring stuff for like potlucks or something like that, and I get the same response from women all the time. Did your mom make this? And I'm like, nah, like I made this. They're like, you're lying, and I'm like, no, I'm not. They're like, okay, and then they just be all shocked about it because most women are not used to like men cooking.
Yeah.
Like they're just not used to it, especially everybody that I've been around, and especially older women too. They're just not. They're not used to it. They're used to, like my grandpa cooked, right? He did, but he sat down at the table at 5 o'clock, and his plate needed to be there. You know what I mean? So it was like he's a very traditional person, and that's what traditionally men didn't cook like.
Yeah.
So it's always a big surprise when people see that or whatever it is. You know what I mean? They're just not used to it. But then you have my food, and you're like, whoa, like this guy can get down.
So kind of give us like a little bit of examples. Like obviously, you're from Fresno, right?
Yes, sir.
So I know that you do catering now.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you said they can find you. I think you said you do some downtown events.
Yeah, so I've done downtown events, do pop ups. I've done stuff at Full Circle, just all kinds of different things that we've had out there. I've coffee shops, little breweries and stuff like that. One of my favorite things to do is brunch pop ups because I feel like the brunch scene in Fresno is not where it should be.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I done a few brunch pop ups, and one weekend when I did a brunch pop up, it's like 111 a weekend, right?
Not fun.
Right. People still showed up. They still bought stuff. So that's goes to show you, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, this guy actually does cook like good food.
Yeah.
Because I was making stuff like birria chilaquiles and like, concha French toast, like just stuff that you're not seeing out here, you know what I mean? Stuff you might see maybe in LA or maybe in the Bay Area and stuff like that. And it's like, no, like we got some talented, really talented individuals here in Fresno that could do these things, but you know what I mean? We got places doing like basic stuff,
Yeah.
just basic stuff, and I'm like, there's nothing basic about me, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm gonna, do this, and I'm gonna show this. So I've gotten opportunities where, people reach out to me and like, hey, can you do a pop up for this? Can you do a pop up for that? And I like to go at situations for the pop up where I like to, like whatever the event is, I like to go into that event and do something that makes sense for the event. So like I told you, I've done a Jay Dilla tribute, which is a producer that passed away. So they do a lot of Jay Dilla tributes, and he's from Detroit. So we did a Detroit pizza pop up.
Mm.
Shout out to Johnny Q, man. He was doing a lot of pop ups out there, man. Hooking me
shout
up,
out.
bro. Yeah. So we're doing downtown. So like, I would do stuff like that. So just based on the occasion, like that's what I would do. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like I said, my food. People always ask me like, "Oh, what do you cook?" I'm like, man, I can make anything. Like buffalo mac and cheese fries. You got smokers burritos. I do smoked tri-tips. Like I do fried rice. Like I birria. You know what I mean? I do mac and cheese quesadilla tacos. Like let's just.
Hey, bro, you gotta slow down. You're getting me hungry,
Know
bro.
what I'm saying, bro.
Quesadilla
Yeah.
is like man, that's my thing right there. Especially quesadilla tacos. But there is something you touched on that I want to kind of jump in. Like you said, like there's a lot of talent in the valley, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the whole point of this podcast, bro. Is like we're trying to get the Central Valley talent out,
Yeah.
right? And there's I want to say like and then also you do a pop up at, and it's kind of crazy because we had him on the podcast at Fresno City, right? The
Yeah.
wrestling.
Fresno City.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had Coach Moreno on, and
Yeah.
we should be getting Coach Kisa on too.
Yeah.
So maybe
Cool guys, man.
when we kind of go out there, maybe we'll catch you out there, bro, and we'll
Oh,
be
no.
like a full circle moment, you know.
You will catch me out there.
And then do you do
Doing it for-
quesadillas out there at the?
We don't do quesadillas out there, just because like the quesadillas are like a hearty meal, and when you go out there, like I said, you have to adjust to the places that you go, bro. Because if you don't, like, you won't sell certain things
Yeah.
because you have to.
You don't think quesadilla was out there?
It's because it's heavy.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And the wrestlers are not gonna eat nothing until after they're done. And even some of the people, so like the crowd out there, the ones that they track in are people from out of state, and then people from out of the valley, so they're not used to like Mexican food,
Oh, okay.
if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they'll get a taco, but
I know what you're saying, bro. I'm from Mendota, Farbo area.
you know what I mean. They'll get a taco and they'll be like, oh, no salsa, no onions, and I'm like, you just want cilantro?
No cilantro.
No, I'll just have cabbage, and it's like, just have some cabbage and meat. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Or the number one question that I get asked when I make tacos is your salsa hot? And I'm like, I can't answer that question for you because we did not grow up the same. So my perception of hot and your perception of hot are two different things. Like,
I would have took that as okay. It's probably hot.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you that it's hot for you probably.
Yeah.
If you're asking,
Mm-hmm.
that means it's probably too hot for you.
All
You know
right.
what I
Well, hey, remember, guys, go out there. He does the Fresno City Wrestling, and I know that we had Coach Moreno on. They should be having their season coming up, so we should be catching you out there. I know I'm gonna make an attempt to make it to one of their matches, and hopefully I get some of those tacos.
Yeah, if you go, man, you should go to the state one. I think it's in November.
Okay.
The state one, that's one that we do. It's really big. There's a lot of great talent out there, some great wrestlers, and then we also are doing the women's wrestling too.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but women's wrestling is the fastest growing sport in the United States.
Is it?
It is,
Wow.
and
Okay.
it's been getting bigger.
I should know that. I'm getting into. Well, I'm new to it, right? I'm getting into the
Yeah.
fight game. I'm getting into
Yeah.
wrestling. I'm getting into boxing.
Yeah,
It's all a blessing, right? And that's good to know. I like
yeah, that's
dropping facts on the podcast.
it is, man. And it's you got to support especially young girls get into wrestling, and I told you too. I have a big background in wrestling too.
You did say that.
So that's.
I
that's
mean, remember, this is your podcast, bro.
Yeah.
Break it down. Let us know.
So you know what I mean. I've been wrestling since I was 4 years old. Valley champ. I don't even know how many times, but
Well, I think in high school, right?
nah, I'm talking about. So I did freestyle.
Okay.
So freestyle. So Valley championships all the way up until it keeps going. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't even know how many.
And what did you wrestle in high school?
I wrestled in high school, but freestyle. But I didn't like wrestling in school.
Oh, okay. Just freestyle. You stayed
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah, so I wrestled under Fuji.
Okay.
So he's one of the greatest coaches in all time.
Okay.
You people that really wrestle,
Uh huh.
they know who he is. He just
Well,
got inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Well, shout out to
Yeah,
Coach.
shout out to Coach Fuji, man.
For
Yeah,
sure.
and he's still coaching right now. So he coached my dad.
Mm-hmm.
He coached me. So and he's still coaching right now. So I have my my boys going, getting to practice, getting reps in and stuff over there too. He's still coaching right now. So like 3 generations, and I'm saying like this guy is still
Still out there.
like 80. Still, I mean, looks better than your grandpa, man. I'm telling
pretty
you.
sure, yeah.
Maybe some dads. You know what I mean? He's out there, and wrestling's good for your health, man.
Well, you kind of jumped it. You kind of gave me the cue, bro. I already like how this podcast is going, how it's setting up. So let's talk about your little boy. So right here, his jersey right here, right?
Yeah.
I also know that, what is it?
Cash.
Cash, okay. So your boy Cash, he's also, I saw he's out there for the Sports Illustrated, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so give us a little, let us know about that.
So I had to enter him into a contest to be featured in Sports Illustrated. It's ran by Russell Wilson. It's to have an ad featured in Sports Illustrated for him. So what he does is he does flag football. He's 6 years old. He started when he was 4. I was looking for leagues to get him in at an early age, and all of them were starting at 5. And I found a league. Shout out to Overtime Sports. Man, they're a great league. He's still in there today.
Shout out Overtime Sports.
Yeah, shout out AJ, Adrian, everybody over there, Serena. Shout them out, man, for supporting my boy, man. You guys do a whole lot, man. So he's loving it. And we started him out at 4, man, and he was having a lot of fun. I remember one of the games got canceled one weekend because it was raining.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so, like, disappointed, and he was like, but why? Like, I want to go. And I'm like, son, it's raining outside. Like,
yeah,
we can't go out there. It's, like, really, really raining. Like, you can't go. He's just, all right, well, next week. And I'm like, yes, next week. So that's one of the first indicators, man, that I was like, oh, man, like, this kid, like, loves it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it was his first year. He was getting used to, used to the rules and stuff like that, because we kind of went over some stuff. Like I said, he was real young, so he didn't comprehend a lot of the stuff. But after those first couple games, man, there's a clip on there where it's his little signature now. It's like a loop-de-loop. So he'll, like, go back in and drag players in towards him and loop around. So it looked like he was going the wrong way. And at first, maybe it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because he was only 4. So
he Reggie Bushed him at the UFC?
Bro,
remember when UFC he did it at Fresno State?
Yes. So he came out, and then he came back around, and they got, like, the perfect video. The camera guy was in the right time, perfect everything. Got him looped-in-loop. I mean, he dipped, like, 3 kids. And then we got, like, slow-mo action on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was wearing a headband.
Ooh. So
that's what a lot of people associate him with, is wearing that headband, man. So he's running, and he's running fast. He's pretty fast for, a 4 or 5-year-old. And you just see his hair just blowing through the wind, man, just cutting up to that sideline. And he was just gone, like nobody's business, man. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the most famous clips that they had, with their league, of him doing that. And, he loved it. So then we went, and we had a little off season. And then, so he was like, when are we going to go back? And I'm like, well, let's train. And he was like, okay. And so we started training, and he was loving it, man. And then one day, he was like, Dad, he's like, why do I got to go train for if I'm the best? And I told him, I was like, son, I was like, you might be the best. I was like, but there's somebody out there who's going to go train right now who's trying to take your spot. And they're trying to take your spot, and they're working hard. And they might take your spot if you don't keep on working. You have to work hard every day. You have to. I was like, I told him, I was like, God might have, gave you all this talent and stuff like that, but you got to keep working at it. You got to, you got to show, that you want it, that you want this, that you want to do it. So you got to keep it moving. Mm-hmm. And so after I told him that, he never questioned that after that.
And he's 4 or 5 years at this time.
This time he was 5.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He was 5, going to be 6.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off a couple things that you said. Okay.
Yeah.
So you talked about timing. So that's gonna allow me to bring my favorite Bible verse in. So Isaiah 60:22. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. So it's all about timing, right?
Yeah.
I like that. And then you talked about, work ethic. Kind of, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like when you kind of come as a follower of Christ, it's not easy. Like you said, you have to go and you have to work on it daily, pick up your cross and take a step, right?
Yeah.
And I don't believe in religion. I believe in relationship. And I feel like when you are coming to Christ and you're kind of like learning, right? And we had our conversations off camera.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was respectful conversations. It wasn't like, I said this or you said this, right? And it's something that it's your relationship.
Yeah.
It's not his, it's not hers, it's not this, it's not that. That's why I say religion. I'm not about religion, I'm about relationship because, certain religion's going to tell you, okay, you got to be this way, you got to do this, you got to be this, you got to do that, right?
Yeah.
And you got to do this. No, God wants you to go to him with your pure heart and he will fix you. Yeah. He will let you know. He will tell you this or he will guide you. So I just wanted to tie that into cash because it sounds like you're doing the right thing. Like
everybody has their own path, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't, I don't think that there's no wrong or right ways to do things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't compare myself to anybody. I never have. I never will. Because, you know what I mean? Like, even like you said, you know what I mean? Like, you went through, all that and stuff like that, but you had to go through that, like, you know what I mean? To get to where you are.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, all the things that, you know what I mean? Like, I've gone through, like, it got me where I'm at. But
and we'll learn about it. Like I said, we're kind of jumping in.
Yeah.
I know that you kind of like. Remember, I was telling you, how do you want me to do it? How do you want question wise? And you're like, let's just let it flow.
Yeah.
And those are like the best podcasts because they come so genuine, so raw, and that's what I want this podcast to be, bro. Like I want people to understand. Like I don't watch podcasts, so I can't go off of you're like this guy, you're like that guy, you're like this, right?
Yeah.
I will go off of like when people give me constructive criticism, like, hey, bro, I think you should keep the podcast under an hour. Yeah. Then I got other people like, hey, bro, you should go 2 hours. Hey, bro, Joe Rogan goes 3-4 hours. And so, like, I think it's about finding that comfortable medium.
Balance it.
Right? And balance it, exactly. Yeah. So, in this sense, like, I know we kind of, and I wanted to touch on your son, right? Obviously, and you being a chef, but we're talking about talent, right? Central Valley talent. You also are an artist.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, kind of let us know a little bit about that.
So, music for me, it's my first love. And I don't know if I told you this. So, if I had to choose like chefing and music, I'm gonna pick music every time.
What?
Every time.
I would have lost, bro. If someone would have said, hey, bro, I would have thought the way we talked the first time, I thought it was more about cooking.
Yeah,
but see?
You got to get to know me.
Yeah, well, this is what this is for.
Yeah,
there you go. All right, so go ahead. Let us know about that. Like, at what age or when did you know? Because we're almost the same. We're literally the same age. I think we're 1 day apart.
I got 1 day on you, bro. That's what, at 20.
So I respect. Respect my elders.
Yeah, I'll take it, bro. Yeah, music, man. I've been writing since probably I was like 8 years old.
Really?
So maybe not music, but I was writing. So I don't know.
When you give us an example.
So I'm gonna give you an example. So when I used to go over my grandma's house, sometimes I would write stories. Like literally how, they taught us in school. I'd have an introduction, I'd have a body, the thesis statement, and I'd have a conclusion, like a script.
Okay.
So I would write, just make up stories that were just in my head, whether it be about like robots or whatever it was.
Yeah. You're 8.
It's kid, yeah. So I would write just different stories like that, and then I would give them to my grandma and be like, hey, Grandma, I wrote this, And, the first couple times she was like, okay, like tripped out, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of kid sits here and just like write stories, you know what I mean? I mean, I rode my bike and all that too, you know, but like, I it wasn't told to me like, hey, you need to go write or nothing like that. I just would just gravitate towards that. And then, later on it developed into poetry.
Okay.
So I'll write poetry. I read a lot of poetry. You know what I mean? I read a lot of everything. And then when I got into high school, we had a class. It was called Bible Lit, Bible literature,
Okay.
right? So it was actually in high school, like at Edison.
Oh, so I was like, what high school did you go to?
Yeah,
Edison. Okay.
at Edison. So it was,
So you were a tiger.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. So this class didn't really, it wasn't teaching any religion or anything like that. So it was teaching the scripture of the Bible. So like, you know, me reading the whole entire Bible, and like, man, it was amazing. You know what I mean? Because I was taking it for both parts of, taking it what it actually means, but like how it was written beautifully, like with similes and metaphors and like personification. Like there's just so much in there. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, going through all that, reading and stuff like that. So in high school, that's when I started writing music.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I went through some stuff with my family and stuff like that. And that's where I really like
Locked in.
locked in. You know what I mean? So it's like it really helped me like a lot through like my toughest times. Like any times that I've been, you know what I mean? Like stuck or like lost or whatever it is. God gave me the talent to be able to write stuff and give me an outlet. So
Mm-hmm.
I would write stuff and I'll write my feelings and I'll write, whatever I was going through, like a diary, but musically, lyrics, rapping. And then, I started recording later on, like the end of high school. Started to get into it, get more focused on it, develop right there. And I started putting out mixtapes. And, people were like gravitating towards it because it wasn't like the internet era yet. Like this was like when Facebook barely started up.
Okay.
So it wasn't like people weren't like
Like social media wasn't what social media is.
yeah, they weren't utilizing it like how they are today.
Yeah.
Like it's not it. So it's a different ball game. So everything was like hard copies. So I would make like mixtapes, and you know what I mean, like I would hand them out to people or sell them for like $5 or something like that. Like doing all this, and so yeah, that's like my first start at music was that, man. Like I said, God giving me the talent to be able to do this, to have an outlet to go through all my hard times and even good times. You know what I mean? Like just being able to have that expression to be able to do that, because I've seen a lot where people don't have outlets, man. They don't have that, and I think that's like where a lot of depression comes through because they don't have outlets and they'll use like drinking or smoking or whatever it is as their outlet.
Mm-hmm.
That's never been my outlet. I've had an outlet at a young age, and I'm blessed to be able to have that. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I have friends and I have family members that have gone through depression and stuff like that, and I said because they didn't have an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like I said, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll ask God, I'm like, how come you didn't give them an outlet? You know what I mean? Like I question. Like I have a lot of conversations with God about things that I have questions about. You know what I mean? Like about family members, about friends. Like why are they going through that? And I think that's like what brings me back to like community, like helping people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I can.
Okay, so now in this podcast is gonna get deep, right? I can feel it. What did go when you asked those questions? Like, do you feel like God has ever talked to you or responded to you, or have you ever heard the voice of God? Or
Oh yeah,
yeah,
speaks to me all the time.
but I mean, because He speaks to us in different. Remember, I told you like how I feel like in my spirit, but I never heard His voice.
Yeah.
Do you actually hear His voice?
No, I never actually heard his voice. He just speaks to me through like messages or stuff that I read, like even the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, scripture, even
Because
my
now,
main,
like, you got me right now. You got me hooked, bro. Like,
like me and you, like everybody comes into your life at the time that they're supposed to be,
yeah,
and
Isaiah 60:22.
everybody leaves your life when it no longer serves purpose to you, or vice versa.
Some would call those seasons, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I wrote a song called Seasons.
Really?
Yeah, and I haven't recorded, but I wrote it. It's funny that
Oh.
you said that, man. That word just hit me right now, and I was like, seasons, because it comes and goes.
Yeah, God is working.
Yeah, always, always. And that's why, you know what I mean. Like I have very strong faith. You know what I mean. But like I said, I'm human, and I go through those parts where I'm like, I question still.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm human.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean. I allow myself to do that. You know what I mean. It's my grieving process or whatever it is. You know what I mean, with me and God at our conversations when things happen like that. But I always come back. You know what I mean? I always come back because I know once I recollected myself and I find my balance,
Mm-hmm.
then you know what I mean. I know it's gonna be okay. I mean, because I end up finding that, or I end up somebody comes into my life for me to get a better understanding of things. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've gone through like so much at a young age and seen things, and you know what I mean. Like most people, they wouldn't they wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like I think that's why I don't know people trip out on me that are actually like really close to me, and you know they find out things, or I tell them things, or they see me around certain things and they see how I am. They're like, how does that not bother you, or how does that? I'm like, man, if you could have been in these shoes, like you'd understand that why certain things don't bother me, or you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like it all comes back to like, you know, God put me through these struggles, you know, because if you pray for strength, that's that's where you get the struggles from.
Yeah,
You can't get strength out of
he has to
nowhere.
build you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Patience, same
yeah,
thing.
man.
Be careful when you ask for patience.
Yes, sir. I think that's when I asked for that is when I had kids. You know what I mean? Because and like I said, my kids will wear down your patience, man. Like those are the only people like. I mean, you can yell and cuss at me in the face and get irate with me and stuff like that, and it won't bother me. You know what I mean? But my kids sometimes, man, they know how to get me, man. I'm just like, oh God, like this is you're working on me right now. You know what I mean? I get it, and that's what I have to come back to sometimes.
And your boys are 6 and 4, right?
6 and 4, yeah,
I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. From one father to another, I mean, cherish those moments, bro. Because my little boy's 16. I think for the longest time, I used to beat myself up and just be so angry with myself that I don't remember my boy being that young because I was so just worldly stuck in my sin, trying to promote in my old career and
yeah,
just not focused on what God blessed me with, which
yeah,
was being a father, right? And I just, like I said, you saying that they're 6 and 4, I just and they're boys, so
yeah.
I just want to say that that's a true blessing.
Oh no, it is, man, and that's why I do all the things that I do. You know what I mean? But I just like the way that I am. I'm always gonna beat myself up for things, and I always feel like I can do better.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Even though, even and I don't compare myself. I don't, but you know what I mean. I see dads that don't change diapers. I see dads that don't make their kids dinner or don't change their kids. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just basic stuff. You know what I mean? Sometimes that what I mean, like I said, that bothers me, and it shouldn't. You know what I mean? But it bothers me for the fact of because I feel like that kid's not getting enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I went through that because I didn't.
Hmm.
My dad was great. My mom was even better. You know what I mean? My mom was just she was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and it just like, cause I see it, you know what I mean? Cause I coach and stuff like that. I see kids today, and I see the youth, and it's like it's our future, man. And so it's like, making my kids breakfast, like, man, this whole summer I've been making my kids breakfast like every day, man. My kids are not like, I grew up on cereal,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I grew up on cereal. My mom hated breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
so cereal,
Okay.
you know. And my kids, bro, they're like, can we get bacon, eggs, hash browns, pancakes, some fruit, and like this is every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? This is not like not continental breakfast or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's me. And they have dad, the chef, like, okay. You know what I mean? And it's so amazing, man, that they come to me and they're like, Dad, this is probably like your best breakfast you've ever made, like probably like top. And it's just funny, man, because it's like some simple stuff, man, but they enjoy it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
appreciate it, man, and they tell me. And like, I don't get no better feeling, man, than them telling me, like, Dad, you're doing a good job. Like, that's like, when I leave this earth, like, the biggest thing is like being everything to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I feel it.
pushing them in their dreams and whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? Whether Cash takes the football or he doesn't. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't push him. Like, you have to do this. I don't do that. That's not me. He wants to do it, but whatever he wants to do, I want to be 100% behind him. And that's my other son too, Santana. He's doing football too right now, and then he's younger than his brother when he started, so he's taking a little bit of time to get it. And maybe he's not gonna love it like Cash is.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay, but he's still gonna do it because he has to do something. You know what I mean? Because he always tells me like, I don't want to go. I'm like, well, that's too bad. I was like, you have to go. You gotta go do something. You got too much energy, man. You're doing backflips off my couch. Like, you need to get out there and
Yeah.
burn some energy. Once he gets out there, he's great, man. You know what I mean? He's having fun, this and that. But yeah, that second child, man, he's
Yeah. I can feel. And the thing is, like, you only have two boys, bro.
oh,
Wait till you have a
oh,
little girl.
oh no, I'm done, bro.
That's what I'm saying. But like, if you ever like, I'm telling you, because I have a little girl. It's,
Oh no, and I
it's
remember we talked about this with you,
yeah.
bro.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
we didn't say it on camera, so that's what I'm saying. I want to.
okay,
Yeah.
so
So we had teasers. We had a good little conversation.
oh yeah, so we had a good conversation. What I told Lou is, I said, man, I give you all the praise, and all the dads that have girls, they're way stronger than I could ever be. Physically, mentally, like the whole package. And you know what I mean? I give a lot of my friends, you know, I give them a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? Because I joke around with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I have a friend, a close friend, he has 2 daughters. And I send him reels all the time of the dad with all the princess stuff. And then the dad with, like, the football and the PlayStation 5. Looking at the dad on, like, the escalator. He's going up, he's going down. Like, he looks, like, all sad, you know what I mean? And I joke with him. But at the same time, it's like, man, I don't know how you guys do it, man. I do not know how, because that's so much, like, it's so much, like, hormones and, like,
Well, it's crazy, bro. Because my little girl only 6, right? So I'll give you an example. Last night, they get used to the iPads and their video games, right? And if ours is iPad for hers, right?
yeah.
And so she says something to my wife, like some attitude, like okay, and then I can hear my wife tell her something, and then like I if that would have been Lou, I would have jumped on Lou, right? So then I'm like, nah, and it's funny because Louie looks at me like, are you gonna tell her something? And then I go, hey, like, Gia, you don't talk to your mom like that. Give me that iPad, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, go over there and sit down. You're gonna eat your dinner, right? And she just like starts crying, you know? Gets her food. Okay, Dad. And I'm just like, oh, bro. Like I wanted to break down.
It breaks
And
you,
my
bro.
wife's looking at me like, don't you
Don't you dare.
do it, you know? And then it's funny because we sit down and she's crying, bro. Like, and I'm just like,
A lot of words
in
and
my
effort.
like my all my might, I'm just like, oh, I can't stand it, bro. And I don't even want to look at her, right? And she's looking at me, bro, and she's crying, like she's ready for me to be like, oh, are you okay? 'Cause
Yeah,
and I don't ever really like discipline her like that.
yeah,
But she's getting a little older, and it's only 6.
yeah, bro.
So
You got a long ways to
I
go.
got a long ways to go. So I feel for the dads out there that have the teenagers and, the 10, 11, 12s are going into those.
So let me tell
Yeah.
you a little story about it. So I told you I coach, right? So this is my first year coaching all girls softball team this past year.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was just tough. It's tough. Like 22 girls. It's a lot. And they're all from like 10 to 12. Like you're talking about. And so one of them, I have them sign contracts and stuff. So I check in on them, how they're doing in class, behavior, attitude, the whole thing. Like, you signed up for this. I need all that. You know what I mean? And so I check in, with some teachers, how's, so and so doing, how's so and so doing, they'll tell me. And so one day, one of the girls, I checked in and she's like, oh, yeah, so and so, she's giving me attitude about this, this, and that. And then, giving the whole spill. So I went and approached her at practice and I was like, hey, come here. I was like, why are you talking to your teacher like this? Why do you have attitude, about this and that? And she looks at me all disappointed and she was like, I just don't understand how my teacher would tell you that, I told her stuff like in confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this has nothing to do with confidence. This has to do with your schoolwork. Did you sign a contract? She was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Do you understand that contract? Apparently not. I was like, you cannot be having attitude with your teacher. You cannot be having, doing these things for your grades. Your teacher cares about you. She knows what you can do. And you're not fulfilling what you can do. She's trying to push you because she cares about you. I was like, just like, Coach M tells you, I'm pushing you out there. The other day you jumped up and caught a ball. First practice started up, girl, you was not jumping up for that ball. But now look at you, because I know that you could, because I care about you.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, yeah, I just don't appreciate this and this and that. And I was like, okay. And then she was mad at me. Right?
Yeah.
She was mad at me for like 2 days, bro. Like, just not making eye contact with me. Just like, whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh. It's freaking breaking me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is not even like my little girl. Like, these are just, not just that way because I do care about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
that's why it broke me. And so the second day, I was like, look, I can't take this. What's it going to take for you not to be mad at me? She looked at me. She was like, a bag of hot Cheetos, the big bag. I was like, all right, done. So next day, I bring her a bag of hot Cheetos. It was cool. I don't know. I was like, you mother sucker. You know what I mean? Like, you just, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? This is why, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, no, I'm there.
Imagine, I had my own little girl.
Yeah, you'd be done.
I'd be done. I'd be
Yeah.
broker than I am already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
And have me run. I've seen it, bro. Having run her finger right there.
Yeah.
And then how many guys am I have to beat up?
It's
You know what I mean?
it can get well. That's the thing is I think like once again, we can go all day, bro. This can be a whole podcast about this, right?
Yeah.
But no, I just want to touch on it because so with my daughter, it got so bad, bro. Like meaning like she was like the way she was crying and acting and mad at me that I went to bed because I was like,
I can't.
there's no way. Like, and I got up early. Right now, I'm going to tell you I'm on my workout journey. I'm trying to get right. So I get up every day like 5:30. I'm trying to, like, even though I'm like, this is what I do now for a living.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a schedule. Like, I'm going to go to work. So I work out, come home, do my thing. Bro, I wanted to wake her up so bad. Got home. So I 6 o'clock, do my workout, come back. I'm 7, right?
Yeah.
About an hour or so. 7:10. Come in, bro. I'm already like going to like touch her, see if she's awake, 7 o'clock, bro, right? She gets up later and I look at her and I was like, good morning. She's like, good morning, Dad. And so I was like,
Cool. She's not mad at you.
thank you, right? And then like she does this thing, bro. Like this, why I know like I'm done. It's over for me already. Right now, she'll be like, tag, you're it, right? So I always know if we're good, it's tag, you're it, and
Exactly.
she's running.
Yeah.
So this morning she's like, Dad, tag, you're it. I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. Like, I never wanted to chase her so bad, bro. And
Yeah.
so I was like, I feel it, and I feel all the fathers out there that have their daughters. Hey, I'll pray for you guys. Pray for
Hey,
me, right?
I got you guys in
26.
their prayers too as well, man.
Because, like you said, bro, and but the one thing I will say though about having a daughter, we were talking about this little off camera, back on camera real fast, and then we're gonna tie back into you again. But it really showed me how to treat women, because at the end of the day, the man that I was becoming, the man that I had not becoming, the man that I was, right?
Mhm.
I didn't respect women, bro. Like I told you, I didn't respect my wife. I didn't respect just in people in general. I think now that I'm kind of like getting closer to the Lord and He's revealing things to me, my parents, they divorced really, when I was young, and I didn't. My mom wasn't really there. I'm not blaming anything on anything.
Yeah.
I'm learning as I
Life
go,
happens, man.
and so like I feel like I wasn't as I gotten closer to the Lord. The Lord is love, right?
Mhm.
So it's teaching me how to not only treat women but just people in general, but
Mhm.
especially my wife and my daughter, right?
Yeah.
And then I have a little boy. Yours are 6 and 4,
Yeah.
right? So my 16-year-old will throw stuff in my face all the time. Before, right? As of
Yeah.
late, it's because it's our actions.
Yeah.
So I'm not that kind of father. I'm not that kind of leader. Like, oh, do as I say, not as I do.
Mhm.
So if I'm gonna tell you don't do something, or yeah, you need to be this way, I'm gonna have to be the example, right?
Exactly.
So like I told you with my wife, I try to treat her the best way that I can, talk to her the best way that I can. Obviously, we're human,
Yeah.
and we're married. We've been together for a long time, off
Yeah.
and on, but we've been together for, I want to say, our little boy 16 and a half. Oh no, he just turned 16. So about 17 and a half years, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I notice if I talk to her with a certain tone or a certain way, he'll try to mirror. And I have to remind him, like, hey, the Bible says honor your mother and your father. When
Yeah.
do you ever see me talk to my grandmother, my father, or my mother when I speak to her? When do you ever see me talk to him disrespectful? Well, I don't. Boom, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with his sister, So I was like, you have to understand, like, the way we are as men. Someone's gonna talk to your sister that way one day.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna talk to you're gonna allow another man to talk to your mom like that. No, so then why would you talk to her like that?
Exactly.
So then it kind of like building, right?
Yeah.
But back to the women part, like I feel like no, there's just I have to show my little girl like, okay, I'm gonna treat your mom the best way that I can, and I want you to be treated this way. You shouldn't accept anything less than this, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of go back, and as I'm getting closer in my prayer life and with the Lord, like all I can do is I just gave my children to Him. Like I said, I give in pretty much everything to the Lord. I surrendered everything to Him. Like
Yeah.
so, my children, my home, my marriage, this podcast, my career, and now it's just about trying to be as obedient as I can. And that's why I wanted to touch. I want to jump on what we were kind of talking about. How you said Bible literature,
Mhm.
and you said you read the Bible and it made you understand differently. So when I want to, now I'm going to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
So like when you say you understand differently, like you've read the entire Bible, then?
Yeah. But I again, I mean, you know how big the Bible is.
No, no,
Yes.
I understand this.
So
No.
me being able to memorize, literature. I know some, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, I know 75% of the Bible.
Oh no,
'Cause
no, no,
I
no.
don't.
I understand that. No,
Yeah.
trust me. I
Yeah.
got you. Most
Just-
people read it, they don't even understand what they're reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm saying I want to pick your brain just
Yeah.
because of the fact of I'm learning, bro. I'm
Oh, yeah.
like when the thing about me, I'm a visual learner, right?
Okay.
I'm the kind of guy like I'm gonna ask you a question to get your take on it. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that I'm gonna be like, okay, that's the way,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want to see your opinion,
Yeah.
because I think when great minds think alike, bro, and you get in a room, it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm the smartest guy here. Everything I say is right, right? No,
Oh.
you to be a better leader, to be a better father, to be just a better person, you learn from your mistakes, but then you also take on other people's, as far as their opinions, their ideas, and
Yeah.
and then eventually you can make it. Because I think a lot of times, bro, I'll say like, oh man, that was a great idea. I watch a video or
Yeah.
conversation, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I'm saying I'll pick, because we're alike in a lot of ways,
A lot of ways, man.
And so when I say I'm gonna pick your brain,
Yeah.
I want to pick your brain as far as your relationship with the Lord, because obviously it seems like it started in high school for you. I'm barely 2.5 years in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm on the accelerated because, like I said, remember I was telling you earlier, like God has given me certain visions. That's why I asked you, like, how do you talk to the Lord? Does He talk to you? Because I never talked to Him audibly. Like I never heard His voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like you said, I told you the other day, as I'm kind of more pure and more clear, like
Mhm.
I go directly to God. And when I say like he puts it on my heart, bro, like it's like I almost know, like I get this discernment, like yes or no, right? Or this is good for you, this is not. Like, and it's
Yeah.
like I could just feel. I can't explain it. I could just
Yeah.
feel it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so same thing with podcasts. Remember I was telling you, killer podcast of the day, great podcast, very worldly though. Like
Yeah.
it was not really nothing that I can say that I want to what I'm pushing now.
Yeah.
You know, the content that I want to put out, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like regardless of, remember we were talking about this too. You're like, well, you got to take this, you got to take that, and obviously we're having conversation. But
Yeah.
I was like, if it's something that I don't feel I align with, I don't care, bro. If it's
Yeah.
you're this famous person or you're this big brand trying to come my way, like if it doesn't align with my will with God or my relationship with the Lord or how I'm aligning,
Yeah.
I just won't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like that's one of the big things that me and you our ideals for that is like you know what I mean, like you don't care.
I really don't.
And that's, you know, for me too, when it comes to certain things, I'm like, I'm gonna do what I know what I'm supposed to do, and you could say whatever you want to me. I like the thickest skin, like it does not bother me.
Yeah.
Like I'm my own biggest critic. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, I tell myself worse things than you could ever tell me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like that's why I feel like, you know, one of our biggest things is that like, okay, like
Yeah.
I'm still, you know what I mean, like, but at the same time, you know, we do like pay attention to like, I think me and you is a little different. Like you're more of like a retrospect, like you look at things like after they're done. Whereas like I do that too, but at the same time, like I pay attention to so much detail of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I notice God talking to me,
Okay.
because I'm like so, you know, looking around, like, you know, I'll be with somebody and be like, what are you looking at? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm always vigilant about everything,
Mm-hmm.
like everything.
I think when you get to know me more, I'm like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, bro. Because remember, I was an officer too.
Yeah, yeah,
So if I walk in a room, it's not like, I mean, it's natural because it's just,
yeah, yeah,
that's just natural instinct.
yeah, yeah.
But it's not like,
But it's not. Yeah, it's. But you say natural instinct, but you'd be surprised of how many people that don't have that natural instinct, man.
well, yeah, because I went into a field that you have to, like, know your surroundings, exit doors, know.
Yeah,
You walk in, because, for example, I'm going to get, like, correctional officer on you real fast.
yeah,
You walk into a pod, bro, right? And you look around and you could see, obviously you're not gonna notice your first day, but let's say you've been there a few weeks, right? And you've been there a few years now. This is not gonna be a newer CO, but you walk in and you notice like a pod's always a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say Marso's the guy that always has coffee, and you're at this certain table,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And I walk in and you're not there, but you're there every single day,
It's a flag.
right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna look and I'm like, and so what I'll notice is if you go into a day room that's normal, right, you're gonna notice people playing cards,
Mm-hmm.
people doing things.
Yeah.
You'll see like kind of semi grouping.
Mm-hmm.
People have all their shoes on.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, there's some tension in here,
Yeah.
right? And it was funny because I was talking to this seal the other day. We were talking about you can cut the tension with a knife, bro, or scissors, right? And so I walk in, I'll act like I don't know nothing, walk around.
Yeah.
I'll go to that one dude that I know just can't help himself, I'll be like, hey, what's going on? Nothing,
Yeah.
So that already kind of lets me know, like, because he's a talker.
Yeah.
He what's going on? Oh, bro, he wants to.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, okay. So I'll tell my officers, hey, pay attention. This and that. Same, not, and I'll be done with that. I really don't want to talk about that field too much, but
Yeah.
this has kind of taught me about discernment. So, like you said, I kind of walk around now. I'll be in a room. I'll just observe, and I'll look, and I'll see. I'll see how you respond to certain people.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see how they respond to certain people.
Yeah.
I'll see how people interact with one another. I'll see how they treat this person or that person, right? And then I'll see how they treat me. Say they don't know me, right? I'm nobody, bro. But
Yeah.
I think once some people start finding out that I do a podcast, right?
Yeah, it's different, but that and it's like, because I have the same. So I had the situation that reflects that right there. So the other day, me and my manager and another artist went out to an event because we go out to events to show face, right? Stuff
Okay.
like that. So manager introduced us to this other artist, and she was like, "Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Hi, how you doing? No energy. right?
Mm.
The other artist, that he manages, what I mean, he introduces her to him. He's like, oh, this and this and that, and if you wanna work, let me know this and this and that. Okay. And I told him, I was like, it's kind of crazy. I didn't get that same energy. And my manager's like, yeah, I seen that. I noticed that too. I was like, that's good though. I was like, you know what I mean? Maybe we're not. You know what I mean? I was like, and I told the other artists, I'm like, don't take that as any way, but certain people match energies for, maybe you guys are supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that's one thing that I do pay attention to. Is like, you know what I mean? Like the way you greet me, the way you greet that other person. We were introduced by the same person. You know what I mean? Like we both don't know you. You know
But
what I mean?
yet you're
Yeah.
being this way, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
no, yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
feel
So
you.
that's
And then like I feel like now with me, becoming more of like a follower of Christ and learning, and
yeah.
God is love, right? And he treats everyone like we're all his children, bro. It never says in the Bible that we're adults. We say we're his children. So I don't like. I could see like a gang member, for example. Oh, blast it, tat it down, bro. It could be this. He could be the nicest guy in the world. You don't know, right?
Yeah.
It's his environment. So I'm gonna shake his hand like I would shake your hand, right?
Exactly.
Same thing with like a homeless person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the steps that you've taken. I don't know the sacrifice that you did. I don't know if you ran into an addiction, right? Addiction could take, bro, I would never had like a drug addiction, thank you, Lord. But I had a really bad gambling addiction. So I could tell you what it is to be an addict, you know?
Yeah.
Like I know what it's like to not have something, right? And a lot of times addicts, they don't have something, either it's home, food, money, right?
They're missing something.
They're missing something. And I just try not to, and and it tells you in the Bible, do not judge. So
Yeah.
who am I to tell you, or who am I to? I'm nobody, bro. I was blessed enough to be saved by the Lord, and He's
Yeah.
put it on my heart to now when I interact with people, like I'm not gonna lie, when I first hey, it's me in the tower, like I'm now the cop and see right tower, like
Yeah.
I don't really go there, you know.
But you're not from there at the
I'm
same
not
time.
from there.
Yeah.
And so when I initially met you, remember energy, bro.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, this is good. And you're like, let's go to Teasers. Well, I told you that. Hey, when you want to go to Teasers, go to Teasers. And you're like, all right.
Yeah, no, because I had told you originally, you're like, I want to get something to eat, I want some food, and I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Then I got there, and then you guys were already done eating, bro, and I was like,
Because you know what I did?
oh, dang.
I showed up a whole hour early. I scouted out the whole restaurant, you know? And
Oh, he was worried then.
I saw, I had to scope it out, bro. I had to. Because I was like,
Oh, yeah.
let me just check it out. But see, that once again, I know it's not natural instincts, but at least for me,
Yeah. But you're also in an area that you're not familiar
I'm
with.
not familiar with. And
Yeah.
I've only heard,
Yeah.
not saying it's bad things, but you coming from the
Nah.
law enforcement side, you already know a little bit about the tower, you know?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah.
And
I
then
understand.
when I met you, I was like, oh, no, we'll be all right. And I had another guy that was podcasting with me that day. So I was like, let's go try this tea out. Remember, he kind of just sat there.
Yeah.
And then we heard you. And then, like I said, when it was funny because when we left you, bro, and he got in my car, I ended up driving here to do the podcast. He's like, "Is that how you do it? Is that how you meet people and you podcast?" I was like, "Yes and no," because I was my first ever person I met that I didn't know, bro. I was like, "You literally just kind of saw history right now.
Yeah.
You saw Inside the Pod with Lou
As a first.
meet his first,
Yeah.
stranger, I guess in a way."
Yeah.
And I was like, "If that's how it's gonna be," I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be like that all the time, but
Yeah.
if that's how it's gonna be, I go, bro, it's a blessing. That was
Yeah.
in my sense, that was a great interview. Like I could just imagine his podcast, and he's like, bro,
Yeah.
and he's like, that's really cool. But I was like, everything that's kind of happening right now, I go, this is all first for me. Like I've never, and coming from the law enforcement side, bro, like especially that I have a lot of I still have a lot of friends, and
Yeah.
I would call them family, bro, brothers and sisters in it.
You got a lot of ties in.
There's no way they're not gonna meet a random stranger off the internet. Like
Yeah.
they're just not gonna do it. Most people, right?
Yeah.
And I try to tell them like, that's like, I've been blessed with those skills.
Yeah.
That's not me no more. I'm a podcaster. I
Yeah.
gotta make myself available. I gotta
Yeah.
be open. I never know who I'm gonna meet.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of wild, bro, because I've already been seeing how I've been treated by people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like when because I tell people like, and I'm blessed. I'm very humble. I try to keep the best way I can. but I've been blessed with a lot of connections, and I've been so far where I've been at, and I've been who I've been meeting, and
Yeah.
who's been wanting to work with me. A blessing, you know. And I think once people start finding out, but naturally, bro, fighters have just been so welcoming, you know. And it's been, like I said, just a true blessing. But I do see how I've already kind of seen behind scenes. When the camera's on, people act a certain way.
Yeah.
When the camera's off, people act a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like with me, when that thing's on, I'm gonna be like this. When that thing's off, I might not. I'm the same way.
That's one of the things I think we talked about earlier on when we first met too, is authenticity.
Yeah,
I can't fake anything, man. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
I can't fake it till I make it.
this is not me. I'm gonna tell you how it is. If you don't like it, guess what? I don't care.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't take something the way I'm telling you, then it's on you. That's like how you feel about me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't understand this, it's coming from right here. Because that's the only way I talk is from right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't talk with no vile, with no envy, no jealousy.
Yeah. No hate.
No hate. I go, and you know what I mean. So when I tell somebody, if you don't understand that it's coming from the heart, and you think it's something bad, then that's just what you feel about me, and I have no control over that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't. You know what I mean? And that's why I told you, like, I don't hold grudges for anything, cause that just weighs you down. It takes you down. So like, if you have any animosity towards me, you know what I mean? I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't.
Well, let's talk about a little bit, kind of jumping in about this. Let's talk a little bit about now you meeting that artist. So you kind of started. When did you really get into music? Like what? I mean, I know it was age, but when did you start getting into it? Where you say like that's what you have a manager, right? So you kind of
Yeah. So I mean, I started getting into it like right out of high school, like recording it down, and then I met a buddy, David Woolwich. Shout out to David Woolwich.
shout out.
And he showed me how to record. He made me my first beats. He recorded some of my first stuff. Showed me how to like engineer stuff. Showed me like the basics of a lot of things, man. He's that guy. I mean, we talk about learning stuff from scratch. Shot my first music video. I'm sorry, I lied about that. He did not shoot my first music video. He edited some of it, but he ended up shooting one of my first music videos. Taught himself all on the camera.
Nice.
Never did photography or anything like that. Never did video. Taught himself. He taught himself how to play instruments. Taught himself how to make beats. Taught himself how to engineer. And like, still to this day, man, like, his ear is crazy. Like, to engineer stuff. And, you know what I mean? He taught me all that early on. And then I started recording myself. Just trying to level up and record. I got into like a couple contests on like B95, like King of the 16s.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was getting up there, man. I remember this one contest I was in, and they had a guest DJ come on. His name was DJ Amen. So he was big. You know, he was in the Bay Area. He was out there, and he gave me like my first flowers for anybody in my own hometown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was like, yo, my vote's going for this dude. His flow, his vocals, the way he attacks it on there, like levels, like this dude got to right here. And I was like, dang. And a bunch of people heard it and they were hitting me up. They're like, oh, heard what they say. You heard what we said about you. You heard what we said about you. And I was like, oh man, like it felt really good. It was just crazy, man. That it had like took somebody from out of my own town to like believe in me, rather than the people that are like here. You know what I mean? They had to hear it from somebody else. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I learned is like, you know what I mean? Like fashion, Planet Asia and stuff like that. Like they all had to like leave here to make it like blow up, because like they don't show you love here. Like they
in the music industry. In general.
In general,
Okay.
man.
Well, I'm just
In general.
remember I'm from Faribault. I'm not.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm from Mendota. I live in Faribault. Like,
yeah,
I'm not from Fresno,
yeah,
so I don't like when. I guess I interact out there. Like, I mean, I've always been a West Side boy. So
yeah,
like, and I never really been. Honestly, I'm so new. Like, this is like legit. Like, I'm so new
yeah,
to this whole scene, bro.
yeah.
That
You don't know
I
nothing.
don't know nothing.
Yeah,
And I guess you can, in a way, I come in like kind of naive. I just could tell you, like, don't take my kindness for weakness,
yeah,
But I mean, I'm going to move with love.
yeah,
I'm going to move with discernment.
yeah,
I told you, I pray about everything,
yeah,
bro.
uh-huh.
And I'm going to take every opportunity that I can.
Yeah,
But if I do it or if it doesn't make sense, I'm not going to do it again,
yeah, yeah.
But I guess I'll learn
Oh, for sure.
about, who's who or who's what. I can tell you this, and I'm not going to say no names. I actually had reached out to a podcast, because I initially thought it was an influencer,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started this thing, bro, this is like how good God is, I guess, in a way, like where not that I guess he is good, but I'm saying, and as far as this, I'm saying, when I
Yeah.
say I guess, I thought I was going to do like law enforcement, because I came from the correction side, right?
Yeah.
And when I was like, I'm gonna do a podcast, and inside the pod with Lou,
Yeah.
the pod meant like a pod in the county
Yeah,
jail,
now that makes
and
sense,
then
man. I
the
didn't even ask you
podcast,
about that.
you know.
Yeah.
And so that's when I first started. I was gonna talk about, like, I was gonna bring on COs and bring on inmates and
Yeah.
officers and all this stuff, right? And that was, but then everyone was like, but you can only go so far with that content, you know.
True.
And so then I was like, and then, well, I don't know what else to do. I didn't go. I just don't. I don't know, right? And so started kept doing it in prayer, and then, like I said, I brought on. You met my boy Mario today.
Yeah.
Shout out to Adam Placencia. He just got he committed to UC San Diego, full ride, bro. Baseball.
That's
He
awesome,
plays.
man.
He's a Mendota kid, bro. Is that a D1 Buchanan, and he's killing it, right?
That's what's up.
And so I was like, he was like, hey, bro, you bring on Adam, It's like, oh, all right. So brought on Adam. And then shout out to Ricardo Nicochea. He's the union president at the county jail, right? He came on. And then a guy named Mo Luna, shout out Mo Luna. He had he got in a little bit of trouble. He went to prison for a little bit. He wanted to come on and talk about his story, right? And then so as that happened, Nicochea was like, hey, bro, you should interview these kids from Central High School Wrestling. I didn't even know who they were, bro. I was like, yeah, I'll do the favor for you. What do I talk to him about? I'm not a wrestler. And he's like, oh, just bring him on, bro. Let him, no one gives, like you said, no one gives flowers
Yeah.
to the wrestling community. Just bring them on. They're a great group of kids, right?
Yeah.
So shout out Aunt Vargas, shout out Michaela, and shout out David. David's going to college, Aunt's going to college, and Michaela's going to be her senior year, right?
Nice.
And great kids, bro. Bring them on.
Wrestling kids, man. Some of the hardest workers you'll ever find, man. If you can wrestle, you can play any sport. I'm telling you that right now. I'm living proof of that.
I can tell you, bro.
Yeah.
You guys are, like I said, look at your work ethic now, like discipline, right? All that stuff.
Yep.
And so these kids come on, bro. I'm telling you, bro, blew up. Like, as far as like their post.
Yeah.
I mean, the podcast itself, I feel like that's a little bit on us. We're kind of getting our foot in the door. Our marketing hasn't been the best as far
your
as
feet wet, man.
And so, but that right now that we're building like the Instagram, we're kind of building our social media, dude. 13,000 views, just that post alone, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like,
how influential those kids are,
bro. That's the size of my town. That's like a whole town watching. So I just felt like, man,
that's tight.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was just so pumped up, and then I did that. Then I all to the Lord, the blessings, and the networking, and then the bridges. I attempt my very hardest not to burn bridges. Like, although I left my last career, I still have ties to a lot of people there, bro. A lot of respect for, like, I always have respect for the law enforcement community, first responders, and like I said, I'll always be for them, because there's bad. Don't get me wrong. People always like, oh, there's bad cops. Yeah, there's bad teachers. There's bad artists, right? There's bad podcasters. There's bad people.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
it's a people thing.
It's a people thing.
It's not a job thing. It's a people thing.
It's a people thing, bro. So I look at it like that's a lot of sacrifice, and we're talking about mental health. If you're not right there, bro, and you don't have a relationship with the Lord, or you don't have, you have to be, however, because I don't say, oh, you have to know God, right? I say at the end of the day, to me, that's the way, is Jesus, right? But if whatever makes you feel good, if you don't have, like you said it yourself, we talked about earlier, if you don't have a way to, what do we say when you were talking about
Outlet?
If you don't have an outlet, bro, it's gonna be bad. You're not gonna. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna fall, right?
Yeah, because you don't know what to, you know what I mean? So it's two things for me. You know what I mean? And maybe I don't think about it enough. And I think I'm more honest with it.
Okay.
Is I know people don't have the same faith that I do.
Ooh. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons that I'm able to do the things that I do.
Yeah.
Is my faith.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can go into a house on fire. You know what I mean? And if I know that I'm supposed to go into that, I know I'm gonna be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it because I have faith. You know what I mean? So it's like you put my back against the wall, like I know how I'm gonna turn out because God's always got my back.
Mm.
I've gotten this far.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And when it's my time, it's my time. You know what I mean? I pray that it don't. You know what I mean? I want to watch my kids grow. That's like my biggest thing, my biggest fear. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, like being to have that outlet, and that's one of the things. Like I said, I would ask God, like, like why doesn't this person have an outlet? And it's like
What did he reveal to you?
What he would tell me a lot is you don't know their story, Marso. Maybe they have an outlet, but they don't choose to use it.
Because we have free will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can only, and I've learned this a lot too when I've kind of backed up a lot of it. You can't teach the lessons to a lot of people. You know what I mean? They have to learn those lessons for themselves.
Oh yeah, that's so true.
And it's the biggest thing, man. And it's like one thing that's hard for me sometimes, but I've gotten better at it. You know what I mean? And I think you understand is like not everybody's you.
Yeah, no,
And that's
for
the
sure.
biggest thing. Like,
Yeah.
because, like, man, like my work ethic will put people to shame, and have a bunch of people that'll attest to that, whether it be in my music, whether it be with my kids, whether it be with my job,
Your food.
yeah, there's like anything. You know what I mean? Like, how many people that can do as much things as I do? You know what I mean? And keep going. Like, my work ethic's crazy. I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's nothing. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. I go work out. You know what I mean? Like, I get it on the mind. I look like I do, but you know what I mean? Like I said, I go out there and I get it.
No, I see you. I see you on your stories.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The greatest thing is to inspire, man.
Yes,
like,
sir.
To inspire people in a great way, to help them in any way. And, that's what I told you. It all comes back to community. You know what I mean? So anytime I see people, anytime they reach out to me, or if I see something, I reach out to them, ask them, you know what I mean? You okay? I mean, that's growing up. That was one of the biggest things that when I would talk to people, I would ask them,
You okay?
"Are you okay?" A lot of people would tell me, "Marshall, why always ask? Just want to make sure you're okay." Some people are not.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what I've been saying is like you just never know what someone is going through. Like generally, you never know.
Never.
And a lot of times it's always like I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good, right? At
Yeah.
least men. I can't, even women too, right?
Especially women, man.
I'm good.
Especially women.
I'm fine.
You don't know like how many people how many women that have gone through things. You know what I mean? Like abuse, and the sun's still shining for them. And it's like, man, how have you like done things that you have done with a smile on your face, going through the things that you have gone through? Like everything's okay. Like I would have broke.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I said, you don't know what certain people have gone through, and some people can hide it very well, very well.
No, I agree.
And that's why you need to check in on people, man. You never know what somebody is going through. You never know, because they can be like the happiest, funniest people, strongest people, great at everything, have a bunch of friends around them.
And they could be torn from the inside.
Torn on the inside. And that's goes back to faith. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Goes back to faith, and that's, what I don't expect people to have the faith that I do. You know what I mean? But, You know what I mean? Like if I see them going through and they open up to me about things and they're like, like how do you do it? It's like, man, I got faith. Like I talk to God on a daily. You know what I mean? Like I ask him for things, even though I know I shouldn't ask him for things, but you know what I mean? I ask him for things, I pray about things. You know what I mean? And he's been blessing me like my whole life. Like I got two beautiful boys, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have a job, like I have, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah, you're doing what you love.
yeah,
Technically,
like
you're doing music. You cook,
yeah.
right? You're a good father.
That's one of the things too, man, is one of my biggest things is being able to show my kids that you can do anything you want. Like that's the reason that I do so much, cuz I want them to be like, "Man, dad was up on that stage, he was rapping, we were up there with him."
Mm,
And they love that, man. Dad's out there cooking for like the line was going like all the way down the block.
mm.
Dad was out there cooking, you know what I mean? Dad was out there, doing a comedy show. You know what I mean?
You do comedy too?
I'm really, really Mexican, bro.
Come on,
Like,
Marcel.
like brick by brick.
Now you're just bragging, bro. Nah, that's
Nah,
not. That's
man.
cool though. I mean, to have that many talents, I can tell you, like, I don't. I don't. But I'm still. My talent is this though. I can talk
Yeah,
to anybody,
yeah,
and I feel like we talked about purpose. It sounds like you're walking in your purpose, right? My purpose, honestly, bro, I get up every single day excited. Like, I want to do my workout, right? Feel good.
yeah,
Come home, and then I like today, bro. I was pumped up, bro. Not only one, 'cause I knew you were gonna come on the podcast. I knew you were gonna bring some food, right? I knew we are gonna have a good conversation, right?
yeah,
And I knew that at the end of the day, bro, we're gonna help people. You jumped in, you tied in into community,
yeah,
and I feel like as this podcast grows, bro, and people you call me out on it, let me know. I tell people, hold me accountable. I was like,
yeah,
I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna manifest this thing when we get big. I'm not gonna forget the community. I'm not gonna forget where we came from. I'm gonna remember that it's Central Valley talent,
yeah,
right? Um, Obviously schedules get crazy, so I'm
yeah,
not gonna sit here and tell people like, oh, I can make it work when the schedule itself is crazy. But if it aligns,
yeah,
I promise you, I will be there. Like the other day, I did a podcast with the ring announcer, Lena Gonzalez, shout out. And I did it with Cisco Hurtado. Shout out Cisco Hurtado, 559 Fights, August 23rd, the Visalia Convention Center. See, I just did some the
yeah.
marketing out
Some
there.
little
Come
market,
on, Mark,
yeah,
But I was telling them, like, they came in with some great energy, bro. Like both of them. And my job was to just make sure that I got their story out, just like I'm doing with you.
yeah,
And I told them, when I get big down the road, manifesting it humbly, when God's timing, I want to make sure that I don't forget, where I came from and
yeah,
who I'm doing it for. I believe that I want to help, bro, as many people as I can,
yeah,
and God is you. God, the thing is, like, I want, like you said, check in on people, right?
yeah.
But the one thing I want to tell people, and you kind of inspired me to say this, is like, when you really want to do something, don't let anybody tell you. Don't let anybody tell you can't.
No
Like,
way.
especially when you start coming to your faith and you get closer to your relationship with the Lord,
Yeah,
and He puts it on your heart, and only it's not gonna make sense to nobody. It's not. It really is not.
doesn't have
But
to.
when it makes sense for you, and the Lord, and you're doing it for, and when this thing has to be pure,
Yeah,
when this is pure, I'm telling you, God will work with you. He'll work on you, and then He'll work for you.
yeah,
And it's like, or you're working for Him.
yeah,
But it's just like, I can't explain it, bro. But I feel like that's where my testimony is gonna really make sense. Like, remember, I was kind of letting people, like, dude, I left a job that was paying me really good money, bro.
yeah,
But I had no purpose.
yeah. If you don't,
You know?
and that's what I mean. That's what I was going back to with my kids. You know what I mean? Like just to show them, like, man, I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I could see it, bro.
Like I love this.
Yeah,
Like I love it. You know what I mean? And you couldn't take this away from me.
yeah,
Like you can't.
yeah,
Like you can't physically, because I'm always gonna find a way to
yeah.
to get it. You know what I mean? And like this whole sense, and that's what I tell them, man. Like, to start off, I tell my kids every day. I'm like, look, you gotta look yourself in the mirror, man. You gotta believe in you. Because if nobody believes in you, you know what I mean? You gotta believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is gonna believe in you. You know what I mean? God gave you the talent and gave you whatever it is that you want to do. He gave it to you. You gotta trust. You gotta have faith. You know what I mean? And you gotta believe in you that you can get it done. Just block out the hate, man.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
get, like you said, don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? That's
Because those opinions are not gonna get it done. What if all it is an opinion. Like, it's not gonna pay your bills. It's not gonna make you be a better
definitely,
father. It's not
yeah,
gonna make you put food on the table for your family, right? It's not gonna.
yeah,
It's zero, bro.
yeah.
Nothing.
Nobody's signing your check for that. You know
You're
what I
not
mean?
signing my check. You're not paying my bills. You're not
Yeah,
raising my kids. You're not doing nothing for me. Those opinions, I learned that the hard way though. People, everyone has to go through their journey. But like you said, bro, it just
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like I said, like I said, I went through a journey early on in life, and I've, you know what I mean? Like I said, I've gone through like all my struggles and stuff like that through all that, man. I don't care. Like,
yeah.
you can't tell me that I can't do something.
Mm.
You can't. Cause like some of the things that I've done in my life, like people are still trying to attain that are older than me or younger than me, and I'm telling you, man, like I've been doing all this stuff, and it's like, God allows me to be able to do these things because I have faith. I keep it moving. I inspire other people. You know what I mean? Like I'm actually trying to help other people,
Mm.
like the whole community. Like I try to help like artists. You know what I mean? Like going through like all this stuff. Like I've recorded other artists, try to help them build up. You know what I mean? But you can't do it for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just one of the things. Like, so that's one of the things that I try to like distance myself with now that I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Is just because you can't do things for other people. You know what I mean? So I think the greatest thing is to be able to inspire people. You know what I mean? To let them know. You know what I mean? Like, you can do this. Like you know what I mean? No matter how old I get, like I'm never gonna give this up.
Mm.
Like, even if I don't make it, quote unquote, like this like does something for my soul. Like I said, you could never take this from me because it's been there. Like, music's had my back when nobody else did.
Mm.
I mean, and I'm
Yeah.
not talking about God because I know God's always had my back.
No,
But
for sure.
I'm talking about like music's never turned its back
No,
on me.
I understand what you meant.
You know what I mean? And like, this is all I had sometimes.
I
Like,
feel it.
literally, like, so, me doing shows and going, what I mean, all over California, rocking shows and doing this and that, doing the work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't try to hold my accolades like, oh, I did this, oh, I did that, oh, I did that. But just know that I did do that. You know what I mean? I did put in the work. You know what I mean? I just don't sit here and
Well, I'm gonna jump on that real quick now. Now that we're kind of talking about it. Speaking of shows, like, do you have anything lined up? I mean, is there somewhere where we can actually go see a show? As far as you performing it in Fresno, or are you like somewhere else? Or
right now I don't have no shows lined up. Right now I'm working on a project. It's called Therapy Music.
okay,
So
seasons.
no, no,
Oh, okay,
no, no. That hasn't lined up yet.
okay, okay.
I wrote that. You know what I mean? It's
You pumped me up. I was like, dang.
well, I know it's something that's kind of like I wrote a hook.
Okay.
So like I write all my own stuff. You know what I mean? So I write all my hooks for like singers and stuff like that. And so I wrote that with like,
Well, maybe one of these days you can, like, we get invited out to the studio. Maybe check it out, see a
Yeah.
little behind the scenes, and then as we put this podcast out, when we get closer to your time to be putting the podcast out, we could drop some like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
this is
some
what
little
you meant
clips.
when we were talking about on the,
Yeah, no, for sure. Get that done.
It's new to me too, right? So it's like,
Oh yeah, you be able to check it out, man. Shout out Styles, man, my engineer, White Glove over there.
okay, shout out
You know,
Styles.
you know what I mean. So maybe we can make that happen. I'll have like some sessions come in, and then my manager OTB, he could shoot it all and just have you guys there. You know what I mean? And we can just
I
we
just
can
want to,
send you.
see, bro. I just want to observe. Maybe,
Yeah.
like I said, I don't have
But
a
I'm saying
camera.
we could send you the footage though. I'm
Oh,
saying,
that's perfect.
you know what I mean? This guy's. I don't. Did you end up checking out his page or?
I have not,
No?
bro. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
you gotta check it out, man. I'll send you his page. But
And shout him out, bro. I gotta shout him out because he's the one that sent you over to
oh
us.
yeah, so
right?
that's how I ended up getting. So it's OTB, man. Only the best visuals.
Okay.
You guys
Find
gotta
him on
check
Instagram.
You can find him on Instagram, man. That guy's. I mean, he's worked with tons of people. He showed mad love to the city, man. Like there ain't nobody working harder than this guy, and that's one of the reasons that me and him connect is because his work ethic is like it's hard for me to find people that match my work ethic, man. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, what I mean, he happened to be one of those people that was like, you know, he matched my work ethic, and he was just like, "Yo, you know, you want to shoot?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's shoot." And then you know, like, "Yo, we shoot again." He's like, "Oh, okay, bro, for sure." Like he's just not used to. He wasn't used to that at first. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, like I have content like lined up. Let's go shoot. You know what I mean? Like I have these ideas. Let's go do this. You know what I mean? Like people send me tracks for songs. I'm like, send it back to him the next day.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they're like, man, bro, your turnaround's crazy. I'm like, nah, bro, like I don't play. Like you send me something, I'm gonna dive deep into it, put my headphones on, be locked in. You know what I mean? Like I go to the studio, like I'm ready to record, bro. I've been going over these tracks for a week or whatever it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit here and oh, you know, let's have a couple of drinks. I'm like, I'm paying for this, bro. Like I'm gonna get as much done as I can. And you know, I would tell him, hey, I'm gonna try to get like 3 tracks done. He'd be like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm gonna get 3 tracks done. It's like, okay. And then we go, and then I get 3 tracks done. He's like, oh dang, like you weren't playing around. I'm like, nah, I don't play around, bro.
So 3 track. I mean, obviously,
Like in so many hours. So like,
3 tracks would be 3 songs, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So like, certain artists, they have like a way of how they do it. You know what I mean? Some artists will go into the studio and then they won't write until they get into the studio, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So like they'll waste like a whole hour like writing a verse or a hook, just writing it,
Mm.
and then they'll go in and go another hour to record it. And it's like, nah, like the way Marso does it is like it's already written. We're gonna go in there and we're gonna record. So you know what I mean? We'll record, and maybe one song will take me an hour to record. So like,
So you use about 3 hours usually studio time.
well, like I try to keep it like an hour for one song.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But sometimes it doesn't work out like that because I need to perfect it.
Yeah.
But usually, I go in there just strictly record. I'm not sitting here writing or whatever it is. You know what I mean? But sometimes that's like I said, the way the artists do it. So I have had to go into studios and be like, they're like, oh, I want you on this, and this is what we're gonna talk about. I'm like, okay. So then, no, I've gone and literally wrote like a verse in like 6-7 minutes. Like I didn't
It
know.
just comes to you.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like I worked with this one artist, right? He sent me a couple beats and he was like, hey, I'm probably gonna record this today, this and that. You know, let me know what you think. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I was listening to him all day at work. So I started writing like a hook for one. I was like, oh, this is dope. You know what I mean? So I get in there, not thinking like he didn't tell me like, oh, I'm gonna have you hop on it, whatever, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So I get in there and he started working on some. He's like, oh, he's like, did you come up with anything? And I was like, oh yeah, I came up with like this little part right here. And then so I showed him what I came up with for the hook. And he's like, oh, okay, I like this part right here. So, you know, he used it, whatever, put it down like 30 minutes. He's like, hey, you want to hop on this? I'm like right now? He's like, yeah, we got like 30 minutes. I'm like, all right. You know, so then I start writing, my verse. So I'm like, dang, I only got like 30 minutes. So I need to write this quick. So, you know, like 7, 8 minutes, wrote a verse. I was like, all right, let's go in the booth. Went in the booth, like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Recorded.
I want to check it out now. I want to
Like,
see how it is one day. Like I want to.
but not everybody can do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just want
Yeah.
to go in general just to kind of see a session, what it's like, because I'm thinking of like 8 Mile, you know, Eminem. Because remember, I'm so
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
so foreign to
Oh
me.
yeah. So like what though?
Like I'm just thinking, like remember, like Eminem when them they were gonna go in the booth and then they're
Mhm.
recording, and I'm like when you're talking about all this right now, I'm just telling you how my brain's processing.
Yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying.
It's like I'm thinking of like what's his name at the time, the actor with
Mekhi
the
Phifer?
dreads. Mackay Pfeiffer.
Yeah, yeah.
Thinking of Mackay Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Thinking of Eminem, right? I'm thinking of these guys they're in the booth and
Brittany
they're
Murphy.
just they're right there. I don't. I mean, obviously, I'm like I said, I'm naive. I'm new to all this
Yeah,
stuff. So I mean, I'm not a dumb person, but I mean,
yeah,
it just I don't know. So
yeah,
I mean, I feel like when obviously in God's time, when you have time, bro, let me
yeah,
know, and I want to go really like. So when maybe we do like a part two,
yeah,
I tell everybody like we have to do part twos because it's so like the first one, right? We're gonna watch it, we're gonna go over it, we're gonna
yeah,
see what we liked, we didn't like, and then we can really touch about what you want to touch on.
yeah,
As far as the next time, what we missed,
yeah,
right? Because especially when we're flowing and it's so raw,
yeah,
and the conversation just kind of comes out. Like, yeah, we want to talk about, and I thought we talked about a lot of things today.
yeah,
But I mean, obviously, maybe the next round, maybe your manager sees it, he tells you, "Hey, bro," and you guys take some notes.
yeah.
The second one to me is always more prep.
Oh
It's
yeah,
more like, "Hey, remember I tell you how the way I do my podcast when I watch them, I almost like a coach.
yeah,
Think of
yeah.
it like I watch it. I'm
I
not
like.
watching it to watch me.
Yeah,
I'm watching it because I want to break it down. Like,
yeah,
okay, can I maybe I could have stepped in right here and told Marshall this, right?
yeah,
Or I should have let Marshall talk here. Or this was a good cue for me to jump in and say this, right?
yeah,
And so and this is just the way I've always been, bro. Like
yeah,
it's just what God has blessed me with.
yeah,
And I'll kind of come in and I'll be like, okay, now let me jump in here and do this. And then as we get better as far as the recording when we have, more because I eventually when I do my podcast when I talk about getting bigger and getting to the next level,
yeah,
I want my producer or my camera guy, I want him to be live. I want them to make the adjustments on the fly.
yeah, yeah,
Like, hey, stop it. We can
yeah,
always cut, jump in, right? And that's
yeah.
how maybe a podcast will last us 4 hours for one, because
Yeah.
it's not going to be,
Because you can chop it.
I
You
could
can,
chop it.
yeah,
Exactly.
edit on the spot.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I feel
no,
like
yeah,
that's the visions I have for down the road.
yeah,
So like I said, this is great, right?
yeah,
I took it over my wife's room. This was her crafting room, bro.
yeah,
And so I've been blessed. So I always look at it like, what? Okay, and once again, I made this in the most sincere way. I didn't want this home.
yeah.
I was blessed with this home.
And you told me that, and when I drove up, man, I was like, man, why wouldn't you want this? This is nice.
No, I know. I just
It doesn't even seem like it belongs here. Like,
right.
to be honest,
Yeah.
don't take no offense to that.
I'm from Mendo, bro. So
Yeah,
we're
it's
good.
like you don't care. Yeah.
No, I mean I care,
yeah,
but
no, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
But you're not even taking offense to it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
for
like
sure.
when I came, I'm like, man, this house looks like it belongs in Clovis.
Appreciate you.
You know
brother.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is nice. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, I was.
No, I really, really do appreciate it. And once again, it's all the blessings of the Lord.
Oh yeah.
Like, and the crazy part, like I told you, and I'll tell them on camera, like I went from like not wanting this house, always trying to want to sell it,
Yeah.
to when I almost lost it, I begged God to keep it.
That's
Right.
how it works sometimes.
And then I basically like now I cherish it. You see my front yard right now. The grass is dead, right? But this is what I try to tell people. It's my dead grass, bro. I could always bring it back,
Yeah.
in the right time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. I look at it right now as it being dead. I used to look at it like, honestly, bro, I used to look at it, this is my career right now. It's dead. It's not, we're not moving. There's no growth yet.
Yeah.
But now I don't feel that way no more. I feel like the podcast, there's so much momentum right now that in time, we're going to have a nice,
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah.
I liked how the other Mendota Wrestling, I'm going to copy them. Shout out Mendota Wrestling. They talked about building the house, right?
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick. And that's what I'm doing right now, slowly but surely. Just like you're doing it, right? And you've been in it. I mean, if you said you did it right after high school, bro, you've been in this now since maybe 17, no, longer, 19 years, almost 20 years, And I look at it like I started this podcast in April.
Yeah, bro.
We're barely in August.
Oh yeah.
Going into September pretty much.
Yeah.
So
And that's the journey.
and,
You know what I mean?
and the Lord is like telling me like in time, right? And the word I always get right now I hear is soon. And that word is so deceiving because
Yeah.
soon
You
could
don't know what somebody soon is, bro. Like,
exactly, bro.
there, no, the time.
So like I could say, hey, we could do a part 2 soon, right?
Yeah.
Because it could be a few months, it could be a year, it could be
Yeah.
2 years, right? And
Yeah.
maybe in 2 years we come back, bro. You're this huge artist in Fresno,
Yeah.
right? I'm this huge podcaster.
Yeah.
And then we can be like, and I know, at least right now, because everything could always change, right? But at least right now, I feel like with your heart and my heart being so pure, I feel like we'll still be the same people. Well, I think the message will still be the same, right?
Oh yeah.
Reaching out to the community, helping the community. I told you, like at one point, bro, I want to help the community so much and I'm not gonna record everything. Like I'm not gonna go record and then put it on the internet and be like, oh, look, I don't want nothing to me. I want all the glory to go to the Lord.
Yeah. So that goes back to something too, man. Is the greatest form of giving is anonymous to anonymous. So it's like you don't need to put like I said, the accolades, bro. You don't you don't need to videotape you giving to the homeless. Like you don't need to do all that thing. Like the most outreach that I do is like for help with certain things. You know what I mean? Like I need more coats or I need more this if I'm doing like some drive. Like I'm not taking a picture of the kid with the that I just gave the jacket to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and that's what I definitely connect with you on that. It's like it's not you don't need to do all that, man.
Yeah. I think what I would want to do is, like, for example, pull up, right? Random neighborhood that you know is full of homelessness. Pull up in a truck with a little barbecue pit. Take some hamburgers, hot dogs, or whatever. By then, if we're big, bro, hey, bro, whatever, steaks,
Yeah.
asada, ranchera, whatever, we're gonna hook it up, everybody.
Yeah.
And then I want to just talk to people on the side, no camera.
Yeah.
And just get to know them.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking, why did you end up homeless, or
Yeah.
well, can you give me a little bit about your journey?
Yeah.
And then kind of and obviously I'd say if you want to share, if you don't want to share, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And just get some food. Just know that this is from the Lord. You know, the Lord has told me to bless you guys, and I want to be here. But I at the same time I want to let them know, like, I go off of movement. So like I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be here every day. I'm not gonna be here weekly or monthly, but just know, like, when I do go, because I want to do I don't want to just go to one spot, bro. I want to do different towns, different spots, randomly, right?
Yeah.
And I want to hear everybody's story in time. You know? And I do, bro. Like
it's a lot of stories. So
there's
it's
a
gonna take
lot of
time.
stories, bro. And especially Fresno, like me
Like
working.
said, and you don't even know Fresno, bro.
I don't even know Fresno, bro. Like
that's another thing that we can get into on part 2, man.
For sure.
You know, because you asked me like what part of I grew up, and I was like, that's kind of like a hard question.
Yeah.
For me, you know what I mean? Because I grew up.
Well, like today's focus, honestly, bro, I kind of knew we were gonna go a little off topic.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you're like
certain things.
I go, do you want me to talk about certain stuff? You're like, no, just let it flow. So I was like, I knew we were gonna get like to a certain point in time where I'm gonna have to be like, all right, we'll cut it here. We'll save you for part 2. And I feel like when the part 2 comes, like I said, I think we'll both know because just of our alignment right now with the Lord.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that you want to add before we end this part 1?
I mean, as if you guys could follow me on my Instagram, chef page, my artist page, Marso MARSO _MC from my artist page, my chef page, Cream Chef 559. If you guys could follow me on there, man, I'd appreciate it. I'm just trying to grow, inspire more, hate less. You know what I mean? So that's you know what I mean. And
when we edit, I'll make sure they put your tags.
Oh yeah, I can send you some PNGs too if you wanna.
Got you.
Throw them on there.
And then even with your manager and some of the people you shouted out, I'll have the one, our editor breaks it down.
Yeah, I can send that out to you
for sure.
Just the big thing for me today from like the Bible quote of 3:16. What I take away from it is having faith. You know what I mean? So you gave your only son, but he had faith, right? Gave everything that he had, but he had faith, and so got rewarded. So that's just like the biggest thing. It's like I want people to grow your faith. Try, you know what I mean, to have more faith, and it's hard. I'm not gonna say it's easy. It took me a whole lot of time to get to where I'm at. So I don't expect people, but work on your faith, man, and you'll see your life changing, your perspective about a lot of things.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could tell you right now. I'll just add this last thing. When we talk about faith,
Yes, sir.
I went all in on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
And I went all in with, no deals, no sponsorships, nothing. Just God letting me know, like, this is what you're meant to do. This is what I have for you, and just. Do you trust me? Do you have faith?
Yeah.
And when people think of faith, I want them to understand, like, it's surrendering to the Lord, understanding that He has a bigger plan for you. If one door closes, it's because there's a bigger door for you. Don't look at it as a rejection, right? Look at it as could be God's protection.
So it's like this picture that always brings up that image what you're talking about, the one door closing. It's God taking away your teddy bear. And not realizing that he has a bigger teddy bear for you behind his back.
I like
but
that.
But it's like, do you trust me? You know what I mean? So it's like, you might love it, but just wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just wait.
And then you don't know what that wait is. We said, hey,
Yeah.
soon. You know?
Yeah, and it's always on God's time, man. God's time, never yours.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing. You know, we talk about time is it's always on God's time, never yours, and you gotta have that faith, man, because you don't know. Like you might pray for it, and you might think it's gonna happen on this time, and then it don't happen, and then you're just unsettled. But you just gotta remember it's on God's time, and it's always perfect.
That's so true, bro. With that being said, I think we'll end that part one right here. Isaiah 60:22. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. But like we start every podcast with a Bible verse, we also end with a Bible verse. So today's Bible verse was from the book of John, 3:16, and the Word of God states, "For this is how God loved the world. He gave his one and only Son, so that everyone who believes in him will not perish, but have eternal life." John 3:16. And with that being said, I just want to thank you, Marcel, for coming on, bro, giving us a little bit
Appreciate you,
about
man.
what you do, who you are, and catch him out on his Instagram on what is the chef
Cream Chef 559.
Cream Chef 559.
Marso Marso_MC. Check me out on my artist page, man. I appreciate you, Lou. Like,
No, for sure, brother.
Like,
Anytime.
times,
I'm
man.
really glad that we met, and like I said, I feel like it's all God's timing, all God's purpose, and
Yeah.
I look forward to going in the studio, bro. Really learning and
Oh,
getting
yeah.
this 8 Mile image out of my head, and really kind of like getting to see what, and especially like all the artists that are working hard, bro. Really get to see you guys, and then maybe like I said, bring them on down the road, and
Oh, yeah.
let them talk about their stories. And now, once again, God is so good. Now we're gonna push ourselves into maybe even the music game, bro. That'd be
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah, no,
but
for sure, man.
all in God's time. But I thank you once again for stopping by, and
Appreciate you
until the
having me.
next time, brother.
All right, man.
Alrighty.